How's it going out there? Welcome back to Melvor Idle Adventure Mode. This is episode 13. Gonna get the boring stuff out of the way. There's a lot of cool stuff. If you're looking at my equipment right now, you're gonna see the cool stuff, and we will get to it. Let's knock the boring crap out first, and that is cooking. I got level 99 cooking. That is done and out of the way. So whatever cooking refactor comes up in this next major patch, that's taken care of. Farming is done. That's level 99. I don't really have a need for this right yet. I don't have herb lore. So I am basically just banking. Let's see, where's my seeds and stuff? I should have some grown. It should all be here. So I'm banking all the herbs in here. And pretty much what I'm doing, probably not doing this the best way, but I'm trying to get the mastery pools done. So I've been starting to, whenever something comes up to be planted again, I've been planting whatever's not level 99. Like these are level 99 here. Snape grass, the carrots are 99, barren toe, pigtail. So if it's not level 99, I am dumping or I'm growing it and letting it finish out its mastery. And then whatever extra beyond 50%, I'm keeping the increased crop harvest mastery pool bonus. But the reduced crop time I'm getting rid of or not keeping for now. I don't really care about it. I'm not working towards herb lore at the moment. So it doesn't matter how long it takes to grow this stuff. I'm just trying to finish the masteries out. And I probably should work from the bottom up, especially on the herbs. I need to grow all of the different herbs and have a good stack of it, because otherwise I probably won't be able to do much in herb lore. So I'm going to have to work, especially on some of the early stuff. And I really need to look at my other account, one of my other accounts, and look at herb lore, what it takes. But another problem for another day. Basically, hit level 99 cooking, level 99 farming, working on mastery for farming, and that's kind of where we're at with that one. Now, I needed to open up a bunch of bank slots, so I opened up, I don't know how many slots, 20, probably 10 or 20 slots. I don't remember where I was at. I've changed some things, so I had to open more. I was fortunate to get, I don't know if I can show it real quick here. I was fortunate to get a crown of relics on this account. So that is awesome. I think that I had the circlet piece. I finally got the gemstone, and now I have that for helping out with the like smithing or mining or something like that. It'd been handy to have that a lot sooner, but I have it now, so that's awesome. And then the biggest thing here, I think I cleared what did I clear? The air god dungeon last time. So that was the thumbnail I used, was the symbol for this air god dungeon. I have now since cleared the water god and the earth god, and then cleared the volcano 100 times and cleared the infernal stronghold once. So I have just been obliterating these dungeons, and you can tell from my gear. I now have the Terran God Sword, the Terran gloves, and the boots. Because every time here's the thinking behind this. Every time you clear one of these God dungeons, you get a piece of gear. So if I go to the Scroll of Glacia, you will get one of these pieces of gear. There's no other stuff with this. You're not getting garbage with these. You're getting something. You may end up with 100 gloves by the time you're done, but you're getting a piece of gear. So with that thinking in mind, I pushed into the Earth God dungeon, knowing that I will get a piece of gear every time I complete it. You may not get all the gear you want, but I knew I would get a few pieces. So my goal was to either get the helmet, gloves, boots. Those seem to be the most common. The chest piece and the plate legs are really hard to get. Those took me a while on my standard account. The sword actually was a surprise. That was like, I've cleared the thing 4 times now. And I think on my first clear, I got one of the boots or gloves. The second clear, I got the other one. Then I got a repeat. Then I got the sword. So I was like, cool. So I've now started taking this stuff that I've gotten on the high-end dungeon and pushed back into the lower-end stuff. Like, I wanted to go into the volcano and start getting some of the other gear that comes in down here, like the ancient shield and the helmet, plate, and plate body. Because I wasn't getting it on the God dungeon, I came back this way and started getting this stuff. This is actually kind of funny, because in both the 2 hardcore accounts I've had and my standard account, within like 2 or 3 clears of the volcano, I've gotten a helmet on like every case. In this case, I don't know how many times I've cleared this dungeon. Let's check real fast because this is kind of hilarious. So I've cleared this thing 179 times. It took me well over 100 times to actually even get one of these 2. And these are the only 2 I've gotten. I still haven't even gotten the gloves or the boots or whatever else comes from this place. Like, these are the only 2 pieces of gear I've gotten that I can actually use. And I've cleared this thing a lot. So that's kind of interesting. The other interesting thing I thought, and this is kind of, I don't know if it's cool or not, or if it's any good. Maybe it makes some money, I'm not sure. But I thought you got 1 cape for every completion of this dungeon. Well, I've completed 170 some times, and I have 194. So if you remember back during, I think it was my first hardcore character, I was using this to count how many completions I had. And I don't think I ever caught that this does not, like, you get extra capes, I guess, which I don't know if it's cool or not, but it's a thing. So I have those capes. I have a shit ton of capes now, which I think I'm going to sell and make some money. Need a lot of money for this account. So gearing up this character, and actually I don't need that looting thing on there anymore. I made a mistake. I was farming with this. I need to put this back on. I don't even have the fancy amulet yet that you upgrade this stuff to, this Fury of the Elemental Zodiacs. I haven't even bothered to grind that out. So doing really well with this character and this gear. Of course, I was missing some damage reduction because I was farming some things earlier, which we're going to get into. So here's another cool thing. The first thing I did, the first time I cleared the Water God dungeon, you get magical stuff. The first clear that I got the Glacier helmet. I got 2 chests. I get the Glacier helmet and the Glacier boots. So right off the bat, my mage, once he hits level 85, my magic dude's going to be rocking and rolling right there. The other thing he got was you get those, whatever they are, these little stone thingies here, these shards. First thing I get right off the bat is the Warlock Ring. So I get 2 pieces of armor and the ring right off the bat for that character. I thought that was a really good sign. The next thing I got was these gloves for my ranged character. So I thought, cool, I only got 1 set of gloves. And then, like I said, I got the earth stuff. So we're kind of marching through that right now. Water God cleared, Earth God cleared, the volcano, I've got all my clears done. The Infernal Cave is cleared 1 time. I need to complete this 10 more times. You need 10 Infernal Cores, and these gloves, the Dragon Claws. I need both this claw and the Ancient. Is it the Ancient Claw? I think it's the Ancient Claw. Yes. So you need to grind out the Dragon Claw and the Ancient Claw from both of these 2, the Griffins and Pegasus, and then clear this Infernal Cave, Infernal Stronghold 10 times because you need 10 of these cores. So I got to finish that out. I got to grind out the other claws. But what I think is really cool is with just the cape from beating the volcano once, and then all the dragon gear and the regular red claw, I was able to get all the way through the Terran God dungeon, which I think is awesome. And that started getting me some more pieces. Now I can come back. I've kind of went over leveled and over geared and then came back and started fighting this other stuff. Now I can just totally roll this thing and all this other content, which is fantastic. I did make some agility changes. Let's see here. I don't remember what I had where or what changed. I don't remember if, maybe I didn't change anything here. I did run agility to get some cash for a little bit, but then the big change here was the Pillar of Combat. I may have changed something here. I don't remember, but I definitely changed the pillar from generosity to combat. So I lost 10 inventory spaces, but gained some combat abilities, which I really need. I probably need to sit down and rebalance this whole thing. Like there's some cool stuff in here, but I know this one, this waterfall, the level 10 obstacle, that needs change. Definitely gonna have to do that at some point. Let's see. So that cost me 50 million. That set me back a little bit. I sold a bunch of crap out of my inventory to make room, and then bought, I had like 280 million and then spent 50 to get my pillar changed. So not a big deal. Once we get it idling these dungeons, especially these god dungeons, you get like 100 and a quarter thousand out of each one. So every 10 clears gets you a million. As I grind that, that's going to add money. This is giving me 21,000. If I had some better bonuses on the agility and maybe use that stupid loot or something, I don't know, it might make some money there. Not too concerned about the cash part at this point, but we're going to have to be. So all those things are cleared out. The other thing I did is I started going for pets, and I got the chicken coop one because this gives you a little bit of accuracy rating. And you'll also notice that I now have the ranged pet, which I probably haven't pointed out any of the pets before, but I now have the ranged one because I started working on ranged. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, I started getting the gear for it. Number two, he's pretty easy to level compared to, say, magic. Like I got all that god gear for the magic character, but I don't necessarily want to start grinding on that. I'm either going to have to grind out rune crafting or grind up all the runes to get there, and I don't feel like dealing with that yet. That's a whole project in and of itself. Ranged is pretty much grabbing up some gear and going. So with all this, especially with this god sword, I was like, yeah, all right, let's take this big ass sword and just start eliminating everything. So the first thing I did was I came into the Bandit Hideout and I cleared out these bandits. They give you steel arrows, mithril, adamant, and then this amulet of ranged. Gonna need that amulet of ranged because that's part of that element of the Zodiac amulet. So I worked on that. I think I killed these bandit trainees too because they give you bronze arrows for a while. But I've been working on just regular bandits. These things, with all the gear that I have, they don't hurt me. They don't cost me any carrots or any. I don't ever have to heal. I can just beat the living shit out of these things for days. So I've done that. And I got like a ton of, let's see here. I've got, this basically is where my ranged character is set up. I can sneak that in real quick. We're up to Black Dragon Hide. That's all geared up. I have the fire cape on. I do have the ancient longbow. Get this back switched over so I don't get completely destroyed here. But I got enough gear out of, say, the Spider Forest because you get ranged gear out of here. I geared him up from here because you can go all the way through Black Dragon Hide. You can get the Ranger hat and boots and the amulet of ranged and stuff like that. You can get some arrows and you can get him geared. Getting him into the leather gear, because I don't have crafting. So getting him into leather gear was pretty easy. Popped in here. I popped into the bandit base, and I think even, I might not have done the deep sea ship. But here you get a lot of bows and arrows and things. So I took the bows that I was getting from here, and let's say, I think this ranged Golban, because you get the real shitty bow, and you get some bronze arrows. So I was using those and basically killing ranged goblins to begin with, and then I came over to the bandit hideout and killed these guys for a while, the various bandits here, because that lets me get arrows. I don't have to craft anything. I can just gather them up. But once I had enough arrows, and this is a tactic I think you can use for pretty much any of the combat at all, fight tentacles for a while, and then once you get like level 30, 40, somewhere in that realm, switch over to the giant crabs. What these offer is something with high hit points and very low damage. You're not going to take a beating fighting these things, but they have enough hit points that you can hit them a few times before they die, and that helps build your skill up. So I spent some time on those. And then yesterday we were out driving around all day, so we weren't home. I took a lot of the arrows that I had built up. I had like 25,000 arrows, and I just pointed my ranged guy over at this bandit here because he drops the Amulet of Ranged and because he drops more steel arrows. And up till now, well, at this point now, once he hit level 70-ish, somewhere in there, getting more arrows from that guy, and I'm using the shittiest arrows because they're shitty and they don't really need, I'm getting more of them as I kill the guy, so it kind of feeds back into itself, and I don't have to keep, I'm not losing anything, I don't have to worry about dying. It's been very safe upgrading or getting this guy leveled up to this point. Now, he's not going to continue, too much further, but I want him at level 85 so I can start equipping this God gear, because I want to say when you complete the volcano, I think the expectation is you complete the volcano, grind out all your gear, get stuff out of the Infernal Stronghold. You've now upgraded everything. You've now got the Infernal Claws, and you've got the Dragon Shield, and you've got all that stuff. Now you come in here to the Air God dungeon, and this gives you stuff for ranged. This gears up your ranged character, and then you go through you take the ranged, I believe you take ranged into the Water God dungeon, and then you gear up your mage, your magic, and then you gear up your melee from the Earth God. Well, I've kind of skipped a few steps here, and I've marched right into Earth God dungeon and started, leveling up, gearing up my melee character. But that means I don't need to worry about gearing up my magic character at this point. So basically I'll be looking at taking the melee character into the Air God dungeon and gearing up my ranged character. That's why I'm in a hurry to get ranged up to 85. Well, there's another reason for that, but this gears that ranged character up. I can then turn the ranged character onto the Water God dungeon, let him grind that out, level him up to say 99 or whatever, just clearing this thing, because there's a lot of cool stuff in here, and I want to get, the God Sword, and there's some extra bank tokens and crap out of here. At some point I will need to run the magic up, because I'm just gonna have a stack of gear, but that's cool. So that gets me melee into Air God, ranged into Water God. I can skip Earth God or keep doing manual clears trying to get more melee gear, which I'll probably do. But the ranged character is also the one that finishes the Fire God dungeon. So for me to get this Fire God dungeon done, I need ranged. And to be able to put this thing on idle, I need ranged. So that's the biggest reason that I'm pushing ranged as hard as I am, is because I want to get into this Fire God dungeon and get it clear. And where that will help is cooking, fire making, and smithing. This interval bonus comes from beating the Fire God dungeon. So crafting and fletching, I don't even have unlocked, can't use. Herblore and rune crafting, I don't have unlocked, can't use. I'm already done with mining and wood cutting, so I don't really need this one. But with the cooking changes, and if I wanted to finish out fire making, I think this would be well worth it to take. But we're not there yet, and that's going to take a while, plus 50 million. So that is it has absolutely been just an incredible week of completing dungeons. You see where I'm at, you see where I'm headed to with everything. And that's kind of like my blueprint to the future, is to continue working on ranged. I'm going to keep idling these dungeons and try to gear up more. The reason I'm idling this dungeon here, this volcano, the only thing I want out of it's the plate legs now. So once I get those, I'll probably be done with this, unless I go for the pet. I need to look at what pets there are in these dungeons and see which ones I want. They all give you benefits. I think one of them is damage reduction. I think I got that one already. I'm not sure. But the pets give you extra little bonuses here and there, and I think they're worth grinding out. Especially some of these dungeons. I mean, like I got the bandit one real fast. I let things grind on the chicken coop just because I wanted it. But once I get my ranged guy geared up a little bit, I may turn him loose on some of these, like say the wizard one, because he'll just mow through wizards fast. Like I haven't even been in through, I may have done the mile light one. I've cleared a couple of these, but I haven't really spent a lot of time on them. Oh, I think I cleared the frozen cave, because I think this gives you a bow, I think a level 40 bow, 30 or something like that, 30 or 40. And I actually equipped some of this gear for a little while because it was easy to gear up. So I did clear that one. I think I used my ranged guy for that too. But that's pretty much where we're at. Grinding out gear, leveling up ranged, and the next steps, I'm going to need 1 billion gold, and we're a quarter of the way there, because I need to unlock at least 1 billion. I need to unlock herb lore and rune crafting. Rune crafting is going to be a definite. I don't want to grind out that many runes. That will suck. Herb lore is going to be a definite also. I don't know which one's first. Probably rune crafting. Because rune crafting will get me into magic, and magic will get me into Earth God Dungeon auto combat on that or something. But once I get the Fire God Dungeon beat, that unlocks Into the Mist. And I need all three, because Into the Mist has hard stops where you can only use this type of combat for this phase of the fight. So that is a hard stop. I cannot continue on until I get magic leveled up. So I am continuing on with my melee skills. Those are probably going to be hit first. And I may dip back into the Slayer stuff. But as I was looking at the Slayer stuff, there's not really much gear out of this that I wanted. Endgame is kind of sparse, in my opinion. Like, there's some cool stuff, but you almost have to complete things in a particular order to get. You can try and you can manually do certain things and try to grind stuff out a little earlier, like I've done here with this Earth Guide stuff. But I don't know. I wish there was more in-game gear. I wish there was more choices on in-game stuff to do, because you kind of get funneled down into, you have to complete the volcano and then work on the stronghold and then go to the air god, water god, earth god, fire god. You know what I mean? Like, you get stuck doing those things. The high-end Slayer stuff, like, I could probably work on this Slayer stuff all day long, but at some point, you kind of need better gear. You know, you need all the damage reduction from the stuff that you get from the dungeons, and like the boots and the gloves. This dragon stuff doesn't really, continue on very far, and then you need to upgrade it. So you need to go into the dungeons to go back into the Slayer stuff. And I wish there was a little bit more choice. Like, I wish there was more dedicated Slayer stuff, like boots and gloves and things. You know what I mean? Like, I wish there was more stuff there. But at any rate, that is... Ooh, I want to do one last thing before we close this video out. I have 15 elite chests. Let's crack these bad boys open and see what we get. A lot of crap. A whole lot of crap. So, we'll just sell all this off. This is pretty much what I've been getting, like, for hundreds, well over 100 clears. Like I said, I didn't really get any of the good gear. I just keep getting all this range stuff, and I don't need it. I've already got it all. You know what? Let's go ahead and get rid of all this, free up some space. I'm still saving up my dragon bones. Hopefully I'll get that done. Oh, and I think I did some smithing. I smithed up a bunch of gold. I'll do the silver at some point, because I ate into the stash that I had for upgrading my agility pillar. And I'm keeping these feathers. I don't know why. You know what? Let's just sell those. Get rid of them. But I smithed up the last of the gold. I'm trying to keep as much inventory space as I can, because I'm up to 1 million gold per space. And the cost goes up until you hit 5 million. So, trying to not have to spend money on inventory space that I don't have to, because I want to get that 1 billion gold so I can open up these other skills. At any rate, this video has probably gone way longer than I don't know if it needed to, but there was a lot happening and a lot going on. So that will do it for this episode, and we will catch you on the next one. Take care.